So do you put this on every night?
Yes.
You do. And Dr. Werner, some of the tips that viewers need to get a better night's sleep, we've all heard counting sheep, relaxing position, count by 2s or 5s. Do they work, or what else?
Well, some of them do work. What's important, though, for people to do is to first of all, maintain a fixed bedtime and rise time. So if people...
Oh, come on.
It's hard to do, but if as long as it's not extreme. I don't expect people to fall asleep at 8 p.m. every single night, for example, but there are a lot of people who do. Maybe they sleep at 10 p.m. one night and 3 a.m. the next night, and then they find it difficult to fall asleep at 10 p.m. the next night. So it is important to have a pretty good regimented schedule. Maybe a variation of about an hour should be acceptable. That's one thing. The other thing is to avoid drinking alcohol or smoking or drinking caffeine right before bedtime. That's sort of a no-brainer, but a lot of people do these activities a few hours before bedtime. The other thing is to avoid naps. If you take a nap in the afternoon or the evening, it may make you feel better, but it'll make it harder to actually fall asleep and stay asleep later that night. In general, we ask people not to perform like alerting activities in the bedroom. So unfortunately, in today's society, people may be on the laptop.
So a television really keeps people awake. It's not a...
For most people, a television can keep them awake because they may wait for the third guest on Leno to show up, for example, and that extends the time it takes for them to fall asleep. We generally tell people not to, for example, do their bills in bed, work on a laptop, having heated discussions with family, for example. The bedroom should really only be used for sleeping and sex and really nothing else. Other things that we ask people to do is, as you mentioned, to do relaxing things before bedtime. And this can vary from person to person. It may be light reading, flipping through a magazine, light music. As I mentioned, it's not a time to really engage yourself.
I would just like to point out, I had one of the patient, and she would just, I think many of our viewers probably do that. They turn on the TV and they fall asleep, and the TV kind of stays on, and most of the time they're not bothered by it. But still, the noise and the light coming from the TV, it can cause arousal, just like other sleep disorders, like when you stop breathing, can cause arousal. And you may wake up thinking TV did not wake you up, but you may have arousal. So I had a patient where the simple solution was
turn the TV off.
TV off, and then she could sleep
Michael,
deeper.
do you sleep when the TV is on? Or?
I do not use the TV when I sleep.
You do not?
No.
Okay.
He uses the machine.
He uses that machine?
Yes.
And does that like sing to you or something?
It makes a very low mechanical noise, and you can hear the air passing from the machine. But once you get used to the mask and the fact that you have something present on your face at night, you really don't notice it.
Now you bought this machine. This is yours, or you're just doing this for a period of time?
No, it's permanent. It's for good.
But most of the insurance will cover.
My insurance does cover it.
Okay.
Cover the machines is covered because it's a part of the treatment, just like a prescription medicine is.
Now you only use this when you sleep, Michael. You don't have to use this during the course of the day or anything.
No, just at night when.
And now, if anybody's interested in making an appointment for a sleep study, how do they get in touch with you guys?
Well, normally it's pretty simple. That since it's we need a doctor's script or recommendation for the sleep study. So the folks who already go to a doctor or have a regular doctor, they can simply ask the doctor and call Sleep Center at 908-994-8694. And the people who do not go frequently to doctor or they need evaluation, they can make appointment with me or Dr. Verma, and our number is 994-8880.
Now, how long would this take? Do you check in the hospital at 6 at night or 10 at night? Do you come just in your pajamas ready to go to bed?
Yeah, we actually recommend to come just the way as you sleep at home, so that we get the most natural picture.
So if you go to bed at 11 o'clock at night, you want these people to show up at about 10:30, in other words?
Well, we normally like them to come around 8 p.m. or so to complete the paperwork, to make them understand the instructions.
So you got to give them a little stress first before they go to sleep, make them fill out all these paperwork and
not really any paperwork. It's just to explain them the process of how they will be hooked. And other thing, we have 4 patients per night, so we want to have enough time to kind of see everybody's comfortable in the bed. But later on, what time you actually want to sleep really depends on their usual sleep time. and we leave them on the bed. We have TVs in the bedrooms. We have attached shower, bathroom. They can read magazines.
Yeah, okay.
So after that, it's just usual night.
Now, real quick before we go, because we're running out of time, how about young people and young kids? Is there something to watch for them in sleep patterns?
Well, only thing with the young people is that sometimes they don't come forward telling that they do have sleep complaints. So it's most of the time it's on the caregivers that burden to identify them. So if they're obviously excessively sleepy in the daytime, then you kind of know that there is a sleep problem. But in children, sometimes they can have a paradoxical phenomena, which means they can be hyperactive. That's how the ADHD attention.
Yeah, my daughter usually falls asleep in one spot, and she'll wake up in the exact same spot in the morning. She don't move a whole heck of a lot.
That's necessarily not anything bad.
Right.
But mainly in children, like many times, snoring in children is really abnormal. All the snoring kind of tells us if there is a sleep problem, breathing problem in
Well, then
adults.
how about little kids who move around a lot?
They may have something called restless leg syndrome, or sometimes in children there could be issues with the nightmares, dreaming. Some of the problem they can outgrow with time, but it's mostly on the caregivers to see if they have a problem with that.
Well, doctors, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the show. And Michael, I appreciate giving us an education on what you wear to go to sleep, and hopefully it's helpful. So I thank you for taking the time to join us.
Thank you.
Very much.
Yeah.